So I took a Delta 8 gummy and went straight to hell, homie. So I spent 4.5 years in the Marine Corps. I got out with really bad insomnia. Every medication for sleep, you name it, I've taken it. None of it was really working the way I wanted it to. I was in the mall and I came across this lady that had her own dispensary. Now I was out of the military so I could try a little something. I ain't never smoked, never done drugs, none of that, homie. The lady gave me the gummies and she was like, this will knock you out. At the time, I didn't know what I was getting into. I just wanted to rest. Now, I didn't know this back then, but I learned it afterwards. But if I get drunk or high, I see spirits. And they are not always friendly. Some of them are confused, some of them are angry, and they try to attack me. So no, I don't go to parties. No, I don't get drunk. No, I don't smoke weed, do none of that. But I tried these Delta 8 gummies. I told the lady that I didn't do drugs and I don't do weed. She said it wasn't weed. I said, okay, cool, give it to me. Was that stupid? Yeah. So I take this mess. I ain't feel none for the first 30 minutes. I took it and laid in the bed. Didn't feel none for the first 30 minutes. So I got up. Homie, I got up and the whole room started spinning. This strong feeling of fear took over me. And I felt something come and stand behind me and hold me still. It came behind me and it held me down. I could not move and I could barely breathe. So while this thing is holding me down, I began to hear people screaming. I'm talking about 360 all around me, this deafening scream. It's so loud I can't hear anything outside of the screaming. After that, dog, it felt like I got turned upside down. Whatever thing was holding me, it felt like everything was inverted. So I'm laying in my bed, but it feels like I am suspended upside down. All of the blood was rushed to the top of my head. I could not breathe, I could not move, and I could feel this thing physically holding me down. I knew right at that moment that I shouldn't have taken whatever it is that I took. I'm hearing people screaming all around me, being tortured. This thing is holding me down, got me suspended upside down, felt like. I'm seeing visions of all of my family members getting murdered, committing suicide, swallowed by snakes, regurgitated and swallowed again, my children getting eaten by this snake. It was horrible. Ended up going to the hospital, was paralyzed for 12 hours. During those 12 hours, of course the visions of me dying kept on. The devil was speaking to me, just as I am talking to you, and he told me verbatim, I told you I was gonna get you. I told you I was gonna kill you the same way I killed your mother. And then he proceeded to show me my little brother and my little sister dying the same way. He wanted all of us to die confined to a bed, hopeless, sick, and he wanted to kill us slowly, in a manner to where we wither away slowly and we lose hope before he break our spirits and kill us. He was very detailed. In that moment, while I was in the hospital, I was wheezing. It felt like this thing was squeezing my heart to where it didn't want to kill me, but it wanted me to really fight to breathe. I never saw what it was because it remained behind me at all times. So this thing is holding me down and just flooding my mind with these very vivid images of death and sickness and destruction. Now, when that girl put witchcraft on me a while back before this, I had visions of me going to hell as well, but it wasn't this detailed. So in my head, I'm praying, because this was days before my 25th birthday, and the devil had told me months prior to that he was going to kill me before I was 25. If you think God is the only one that be talking, you're wrong. The devil talks too. When God chooses you, you are anointed for spiritual warfare. The devil talks to me just as much as God do. I just tune him out. But he prophesies to me. He told me, I will kill you before you're 25. He tried to. He didn't succeed, but he did try to. I did go to the hospital. I was paralyzed, and I was struggling to breathe for hours and hours. Had my wife scared, kids scared, family scared. Hell, I was scared. But I told God on that bed, in that hospital bed, I said, Jesus, if you save me, man, I will forgive the people that broke my heart. I will forgive the people that lied on me and tried to set me up and tried to kill me. Everybody that I knew I was holding hatred for in my heart, I said, if you save me, I'll let it go right here, right now. And then I began to pray in tongues. And then my mother came to visit me. No, I didn't see her. She never even said anything. But I felt her presence stand beside me in the hospital bed. Yes, my mother is dead. And like I told you before, I don't get high or drunk because I see spirits. And they come to talk to me. My mother came, and she just stood beside me. I apologized to her, because I ain't gonna lie, I was angry at her. When she was dying, God told her and everybody that was close to her, if she wanted to live, then she would live. And if she wanted to die, then he would take her home. My mother told me and everybody else that she wanted to live, and she was going to tell God that she wanted to live. And then she went behind our backs and she told him that she wanted to die, and he took her. So yeah, I was angry. I wanted that woman to live. That was my mother, and I loved her. So for her to go and do that, hell yeah, I was mad. I held even a little bit of hatred in my heart for the decision that she made. I deemed it selfish. So did her other children, and so did her sisters. But I had to let that mess go. Because if I didn't, the devil probably would have had me that night. And a lot of y'all may say that I was just high and tripping out of my mind. Nah, I've spoken to other men and other women that said that Delta 8 almost took their lives. I learned that it is a synthetic drug. It ain't real marijuana or real weed or none of that. It's something that they came up with in the laboratory, homie. It ain't even approved by the FDA or anything like that. Why are they selling that crap? I don't know. But I'm not the only one that is put in the hospital. But long story short, I spent a couple days in the hospital, and I dropped that spiritual weight. My spirit felt lighter. I felt better. And God told me in that moment, you are going to live. The spirit of premature death has been lifted off of you. And then he told me the generational curse that had been placed on you since before you was born, it is now lifted. Your life begins now at 25. My life was hell because of crap my ancestors did. I spent the first 25 years of my life paying for crap they did. My actual life didn't begin until that day. But moving forward, I felt good. I was able to smile. I was able to sleep. Life was good. Hell, life still is good. I learned a huge lesson from that. 1, don't do drugs. 2, if you do drugs, understand what come with that. Certain spiritual people, we can't do drugs. We can't get too drunk and all that. You either gonna astral project or you gonna start seeing spirits. Now some of y'all might be okay with that, but baby, I'm not.